She's creating opportunities to meet me even now, and I have no idea how incredibly cute and lovely she is. She is the wife of James, my closest friend at the company. I've been working at my first job since graduating from college, and although I'm in a different department now, James was both my mentor at work and my senior in college. Now that his wife has become a significant part of my life, let me tell you about her. Her name is Sophia. She's of average height with a slender figure. Before having their son, she worked as an elementary school special skills teacher. Sophia has a gentle and kind way of speaking that makes everyone around her feel at ease. Our company is small, so we often have dinners with other departments. After one such dinner, we ended up at a karaoke bar, and James got so drunk we had to catch a taxi to his place. By the time we arrived, James had sobered up and called his wife to say he was bringing a colleague home and asked if we could have a drink together. I told James to rest at home, but he insisted on not sending me away without expressing his gratitude. When we arrived at James' apartment, I met his wife, Sophia, who is 3 years older than him. They got married right after James started his job. Sophia is 4 years older than me, the most beautiful woman with the best skin I've ever seen. It's so inspiring how James, having such a pretty and kind wife, makes me respect him even more. Sophia greeted me with a kind voice. It was late at night after a company dinner, and although she might have been upset with her husband for bringing a colleague home so late, she didn't say a single harsh word to him in front of me. Seeing Sophia uphold her husband's dignity made me want to find a woman like her and start a family someday. That night, we had cookies and wine that Sophia had prepared. It turns out, despite her innocent appearance, Sophia loves to drink. She was happy that her husband had asked to prepare some drinks, saying she was already thinking about having some. James couldn't stop bragging about his wife. Since she only works part-time, she spends a lot of time at home, and lately, she's been taking an interest in household management, even doing a complete cleanup. She told me that since I'm close with her husband, I should just call if I ever want to have a drink, and she'll prepare something if possible. I was always envious of my colleague James, who had a beautiful and kind-hearted wife. James, generous as he was, often invited me over to his house once a month, insisting that instead of staying home alone, we should spend some quality time together. So, I found myself bringing beer or desserts to James's place, making those visits a highlight of my month. I lived just a 15-minute walk from James's house. Since my parents lived in the countryside, I rented a place in the city, and having James in the same neighborhood meant we often commuted together. One snowy day, having forgotten my wallet, I couldn't buy an umbrella and ended up walking in the heavy snow. James called his wife, Sophia, saying, "Let's build a snowman. I'm with William, bring some gloves." That day, we had a blast, like kids, having snowball fights and building a beautiful snowman. Drenched as we were, James offered us to shower and stay over, but I felt too bad to accept. However, Sophia insisted, pulling me along. That evening turned into a beer party, and James, feeling sleepy, went to bed early. Sophia then handed me some fresh underwear for guests, telling me to have a nice shower and sleep over. After my shower, Sophia remarked, "You have a better physique than my husband. Whoever ends up being William's wife is going to be very lucky." Curiously, I asked Sophia what she found attractive in men. to which she replied that I was a good listener and had a great sense of humor. Making a snowman and diving into childhood memories seemed to wash away my fatigue, leading to a deep sleep. Waking up at dawn, I tidied up the bed and quietly returned home. Life at work was a continuous stress. James was overjoyed to share that Sophia was pregnant, though he was worried about her severe morning sickness. Remembering how my sister dealt with her morning sickness by eating biscuits, I bought a bunch and gave them to Sophia. Soon, I received a text from an unknown number. It was Sophia saying the biscuits had helped with her morning sickness, and she could now eat a bit more. Grateful, she had asked for my contact information. Having 3 sisters, I've picked up a lot of tips. Please tell your niece or nephew they'll have a fun uncle to play with, I said, as we ended the call. James has always been excited about the arrival of his new baby, telling me I should find a good woman and start a family soon. We've remained close friends. He had to leave on a business trip abroad for 10 days and asked me to take good care of his pregnant wife. Over the weekend, while I was relaxing at home, Sophia called me. Do you have time today? My brother gave me 2 tickets to this popular comedy movie. Want to join me? I was pondering what to do over the weekend, so her call was a pleasant surprise. After watching the movie and having dinner, I drove her home. She mentioned feeling lonely and invited me to stay over for a while. I was delighted and gladly accepted. Sophia's baby bump looked so beautiful. She thanked me for the date, saying it was comforting to have someone to rely on, and asked me to keep it a secret from James. With a laugh, she confided that her body felt better, but her husband was being overly cautious, which was a bit frustrating. Understanding her hint, I spent the night with her. We met almost daily until James returned. Enjoying a different kind of companionship, Sophia was touched by my sensitivity towards a pregnant woman's feelings, even shedding tears of gratitude. I wondered if this was okay, but seeing Sophia happy made me happy too. After the baby was born, James had to travel to China for 6 months. Both families lived far away, leaving Sophia without much support for childcare, which overwhelmed her. James asked me to help if Sophia or the baby needed anything. I visited Sophia without her asking and ended up helping raise the child. Sophia, who was slim and pretty, gained some weight after childbirth. I reassured her, saying her fuller figure was more attractive. She looked beautiful as a mother. After putting the baby to sleep, we enjoyed our time together. Honestly, I wish James would return even later. Sophia seems to share the sentiment, but deep down, I know we should end this affair soon. Yet, leaving the lovely and beautiful Sophia for another woman seems too difficult.